There is this fractional moment of time, let's call it an idiosecond. You've all had them. It's that moment when your brain is saying, stop, don't, while your body is going, don't stop, don't stop. You know, like when your hand is closing the car door, even while your brain is saying, the keys are in there. An idiosecond. As I mentioned last month, I am a professional kite flyer. It is a real thing. And 16 years ago, I was at the festival in Berck-sur-Mer, France. Berck is this lovely little seaside resort town, a lot like Wildwood, New Jersey, without the grease and the white trash. And Berck is known for its recuperative powers, so it has a lot of hospitals there. And during the course of the week, we always pick one day when we take our kites and we walk about half a mile up the beach and we fly in front of the children's hospital to put on a show for the kids. Now, I was flying one of my smaller kites, which for me is like 6 feet tall. My friend Ronnie from Germany, though, was flying what's called a giant show kite. This kite's about 30 yards long, rainbow colored, the shape of a prehistoric sea creature called a trilobite. And a giant trilobite, kite-wise, runs about $2,500. Oh, and this wasn't his kite. He had borrowed it from a friend. So we're flying near the hospital, and Ronnie was flying maybe higher than he should have. Definitely closer to the hospital than he should have been. And it just took that one idiosecond. A little gust came along. Mother Nature is very unforgiving of idioseconds. That gust came along, and that giant trilobite wrapped itself around the cross on the top of the steeple of the chapel of the hospital. We all went over to help Ronnie. And we pulled on the kite line, and that kite was not coming off. So we moved over to the left, change our angle. We kept pulling. Kite wasn't coming down. Moved to the right. Pulled a little bit more. That kite wasn't moving. We even took the line, threw it up and over the roof into the courtyard in the center of the hospital so we could pull from behind. And that kite did not move. Now, while we were doing that, someone had called the fire department. And they showed up with their ladder truck, spent about an hour raising that ladder up. Firemen climbed up the ladder, and they were about 6 feet below the bottom of the kite. Took them an hour to get the ladder up. Took them 5 minutes to get it down and leave. We considered our options. We found the caretaker of the chapel. He let us climb up that rickety spiral staircase inside the steeple, past the bells. You get up there, you reach out the window. We can grab the kite, but no matter how we pull, it's not coming off of that cross. And then the bell started to ring for 5 o'clock mass, so we were deaf anyways. So going out on the roof of the steeple seemed like a fairly stupid idea. And at that point, we decided that our best bet for the rest of the evening was the beer tent. So overnight, we considered our options. A couple towns over, there was a professional steeplejack. Could hire him. Maybe we could rent a helicopter. Like I said, we were in the beer tent. The next day we got up, and we went out and found a group of kiters called the Manja Club. Now, for those of you who have not memorized the kite runner, manja is a type of kite string that they use in Asia, dipped in crushed glass powder, so it has cutting power. And our idea was that we were going to cut this kite down, get the manja line up against the trilobite, cut through it, come right off the cross. And they spent all day, one person with binoculars spotting, another person flying the kite. And they cut that kite to ribbons, which were still attached to the cross on the top of the steeple. Ronnie is constantly reminding us that it's not his kite. It's borrowed. Not my problem. We went back to the beer tent to consider more options. Our best option we ever came up with was really, let's go out under cover of darkness and pull really hard. We didn't. The story's supposed to have an ending. I could give you the happy ending and tell you that miraculously the kite came unstuck after a couple of days and we walked away and everybody was happy. That didn't happen. I could come up with some kind of moral to this story, like, once the church has a grip on you, it never lets go. Who am I to talk about religion? No, in truth, the ending of that story is that we all looked at each other and decided, you know what? This is Ronnie's problem. We got on the bus and left town. And making that decision took us less than an idiosecond.